And I think we've made this relationship with God not about a relationship, but about meeting requirements. And so much of what tells us, even a lot of the sermons and messages, are how to be a better you, how to perform better, how to get more out of your life, and everything is sort of, if you do these principles. And I remember even hearing a pastor tell me one time, the Christian life is about following principles. And I think back on that and I'm like, no. What happens in a love affair, in a relationship, is that in that relationship, I know the person and I know what they like and I know what they want and I know what pleases them, and I do those things because it's motivated by the desire to get closer. And I think that's what we've missed, is we've gotten through the checklist and we've gone through that if I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this, then I'm in. And I think the difference is that this is not about a circle that says I'm either in or out, but it's about, am I pursuing Christ? And the only way I can pursue Christ is to be pursuing and going after a relationship with Him, which is going to be motivated by love.
But from a biblical perspective, God looks like Jesus Christ dying on the cross. He's not a puppeteer. He's not out there controlling everybody. He's rather a God who displays His outlandish, unfathomable, incomprehensible, magnificent, beautiful, loving character by giving His life on the cross, by becoming vulnerable. That's His omnipotence. That's how God flexes His muscle. He dies on a cross. And He wins us over by the beauty of His character. But we have free will, and we can choose to say yes, and we can choose to say no. And when we choose to say no, God cries. He makes Himself vulnerable. Jesus weeps as He goes into Jerusalem, knowing that they're going to reject Him.
I knew I was nearing the end of this journey. The war was now a reality, and the weapon of our warfare was also clear. Love. It's all we have to fend off the darkness. God was proving Himself faithful over and over again, everywhere we went. But it was our last stop that reminded me of the part we have yet to play in this cosmic struggle against the darkness. I went to Madrid, where I encountered a ministry called Betel. Their focus is heroin addicts, and nearly everyone who works there is a former addict themselves. I heard many testimonies from men who have been changed, made whole through the power of God's love and forgiveness. But then I went with Jose and Manolo here, to a place that was perhaps the worst place I had ever been. The city dump in Madrid has been sectioned off as a place where heroin addicts can come to deal and do drugs without fear. I saw junkies shooting up in broad daylight, and dirty needles lay everywhere. People would come with their children in the backseat of their cars, and fights were breaking out. This was hell on earth. Jose and Manolo come here every day, sometimes twice a day, to hand out food and milk to all who need it. Their goal is to find someone willing to leave with them so that God's love can begin its healing process. Ironically, a church stands right in the middle of all this. At one point, a man approached us who had just overdosed. He was white as a ghost and could barely walk. He was taken to a government medical bus that comes every day and was given treatment. 30 minutes later, he was back looking for dirty needles that may still contain a little heroin so he could shoot up once again. Jose and Manolo struck up a conversation with him.
Hay una solución para todo en esta vida.
Esto es una mierda.
Mira, yo estaba...
Mi familia, mi hija. Todo. Todo. Mi vida. ¿Dónde está mi vida?
Pero mira, esto se puede quedar aparcado. Tú te recuperas, vuelves a recuperar tu familia.
Pero sí.
Que lo puedes hacer. Si solamente tu familia está esperando lo que esperamos todos, que tú te recuperes, que tú seas una persona nueva, que tu mente y tu corazón.
I fell in love with these people, and then I felt in my heart, this is where I could meet Jesus. Like I have a really, when I was the first time there, I feel that whatever you did to one of the little children, you do that to me.
Mira, tú tienes que decidir.
Ya, pero... Sí, ahora después de 7 años he vuelto a recaer, sí.
Pero tú sabes que las recaídas son peores.
Hombre, mira cómo estoy. He perdido más de 10 kilos en 2 meses.
¿Tú no te mereces esto? Mira, el coche se aparca.
Yo sí me lo merezco.
No,
yo me lo merezco.
No se lo merece nadie. Nadie nos merecemos.
Yo me lo merezco. Por hijo de puta que soy. ¿Me entiendes? Sí, hombre, sí. Yo me lo merezco. Yo he sido el que ha venido aquí y el que ha vuelto a probar la droga. Sí, hombre. Los que no se lo merecen son los míos.
Ya, pero ¿sabes? Hay una cosa.
Yo me lo he buscado esto.
Yo diría al mundo, a este mundo caído, que el hombre sin Cristo no es nada. Yo hoy lo reconozco. Hay una cosa que está clara. La atadura que tú tienes aquí, esa atadura solamente se puede quitar como yo te he dicho. No, ellos no fueron nada. Se puede quitar de esa forma. Yo soy libre ahora. Si a mí me hace daño me hubieran dicho que no.
O sea, esto es de por vida. Lo único que hay que estar muy atento para no cometer la equivocación. Pero siempre lo vamos a llevar dentro.
No, mira, te voy a decir una cosa.
Well, I think the people outside are looking for a savior, but the savior they want, not Jesus as a savior, because they don't want to change nothing for their own lives. So they want a savior when they could do everything they want, and it's not possible.
Señor, yo sé que tú le amas. Señor, yo sé que estás en su corazón, Padre. Señor, yo te pido, Señor, igual que hiciste conmigo, Señor, que me rescataste de la muerte. Señor, rescata a César, Señor. César, repite estas palabras. Señor Jesús. Dilo, César. Yo me arrepiento.
Yo me arrepiento
de todos mis pecados.
de todos mis pecados.
Yo te acepto. Yo te acepto.
Yo te acepto
como mi Salvador.
como mi Salvador.
Ayúdame.
Ayúdame.
Entra en mi vida.
Entra en mi vida.
Controla todo mi ser.
Controla todo mi ser, por favor, para allá.
Oh, sí. Y dile, yo declaro.
Por favor,
dilo.
por
Tú
favor.
di eso, yo declaro.
No, por favor.
Yo declaro. Dilo.
Por favor.
Es que te va a venir bien a ti. Te va a venir bien a ti.
Por favor, necesito desahogarme, pero...
Vale.
Vale.
He made him stop. He didn't want to go any further with this because it meant change. But I couldn't help but notice the obvious clash of kingdoms at play, and God's hovering presence just behind him, waiting for him to turn around. The choice was, and always has been, ours to make.